Hello out there, YouTube. What's going on, guys? It is D-Dun here, the most chill COD player, bringing you some more Black Ops 2 as always. And today, I do have kind of a different sort of gameplay for you. This game is going to be a very heavily objective-based game. I do still end up doing pretty well, dropping 78 kills and what was it? Over 8,000 score. So pretty solid in my opinion. I do pick up a few deaths, well, quite a few deaths in this game, especially compared to a normal game in which I would post. But like I said, it is very heavily objective based. I'm also not running flak jacket. My class on the right, I'm sure you've seen it already, was lightweight and hardline with scavenger toughness and dexterity. I'm using the Scorpion with just fast mags, and in place of my second attachment, just kidding, I don't have C4. I thought I had C4. If I remember right, in this game I was going to put on C4, but right before it started, I went to switch to C4, and I didn't have enough time to put it on there, so I'm just running fast mags. And yeah, like I said, pick up quite a few deaths, but I'm not running very high kill streaks, and I still managed to drop 78 kills, and like I said, over 8k score. I finished with, I think, 9 caps and something fucking ridiculous, like 25 or something defends, which is pretty intense. My score streak setup is the Lightning Strike, the Stealth Chopper, and the Escort Drone. If I was running non-lethals this game, may have been able to pick up to 10k score. Not too sure, but that's neither here nor there. Just enjoy the fast-paced, rushing gameplay a la Dying Soldier. I don't know if you ever watch his live streams, but the guy's an absolute monster. He uses a Scorpion Evo a lot, and he plays the objectives and rushes like a madman. So this is, I guess, kind of a tribute to him, maybe, my interpretation of it. But man, I have had a pretty intense day. Started off mowing the yard, and that doesn't sound intense, and normally it's not, but unfortunately it rained all last week, so I haven't been able to mow in forever. The grass was like a foot tall and it was still wet, so it clogged up the mower. It's the first time I used my new weed eater, and that thing was being a piece of shit and not running very well. I literally have blisters on my hands just from pulling the string so many times to get the damn thing started. But I got that done, and then we had our little weenie dog. He got his nuts chopped off today. Yes, if you pray, do say a little prayer for the weenie dog, because he has lost his manhood. He has no testosterone left, and now he is just a whimpering little guy in the corner in his kennel. I feel bad for him, but it's for his own good. Builds character, and so I had to drop him off at the vet. Then we had to pick him up from the vet, running errands all day. It's been a long day, but I am happy to bring this comm to you guys, as I do pick up, I think, a quad feed, not sure. But yeah, it's been a pretty intense day. As you can hear, the baby is like freaking out. She's not in trouble. She's freaking out because she's watching a video with puppets, and she thinks the puppets are the most hilarious thing in the world. But I'm just getting off topic. Let's talk about a subject today. It's Call of Duty related. And I know a lot of people have done videos about this recently, so I just thought I'd kind of give you my 2 cents. Not quite exactly what other people have been talking about, but I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of people doing videos on who's better, pros versus pub stompers. I don't really want to get into that subject specifically. I just kind of want to talk a little bit about like why sometimes it's difficult for public players versus competitive players. And for public players, you have a lot of bullshit to deal with. You don't get to play on LAN, you have lag, and obviously in competitive, they take out all the stupid bullshit, so you don't have to worry about having a C4 chucked at you by some like random kid. You don't have ghosts to deal with. There's no like UAVs. You have to rely on your teammate callouts and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things in public that obviously aren't in competitive that make it a little bit more difficult for public players. Granted, sometimes you're not going to play as good as players, like that just goes without saying, because you have, just random kids with no thumbs that you're going to play sometimes. See right there. I fucking hate C4s so much in this game because one, they replenish, and you don't, like, they're so fucking OP. You can chuck them at walls. You don't have to challenge gunfights. You just throw a C4, and if they're not wearing flak jacket, they're fucking toast. And it's really obnoxious. I'm so glad they took that out of competitive, but you don't have bouncing betties, like random fucking bouncing betties from retards who just throw them on a flag, and then you're lagging, and so you're lagging, and so you hear it go off and you go to duck, but because of the lag, you get fucking demolished by it anyway. And I think it shows whenever, if you watch like a Scumpy video or something like that, and they play a public match, if their teammates are shit or just random bullshit, a pro player cannot do good every time in a public match, even though they're playing not as good people, just because people use fucking target finder LMGs, and it's just random. That's the thing about publics, is everything's random. I had this happen to me the other day that really kind of sparked this commentary. I went in to play this match, and I see these kids, I see their stats, they all have like 1 KDs or less. They all have like a 200 score per minute, and in my head, I'm thinking probably going to drop a 100 kill game. Like, that's just my thought as like a general pub player who does fairly well. In my head, I think to myself, I'm probably going to drop 100 kills or something ridiculous. But the thing about public players, especially bad public players, is that they're really, really, really random. They don't do things the way you think they will, or the way you think they, I guess, quote unquote, should. Just because they're new to the game, they kind of invent their own tactics, and so you don't really know exactly what's going to happen. And that happened in that game. Like, I saw these kids, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this is going to be the easiest game ever. I'm just going to fucking poop on these kids' chests. They're going to have no idea what's going on. And I actually ended up not doing too well at all. I don't even think I got my streaks. And a lot I just had to do because they were, sitting in weird corners. If we got A and B, they just sat in their own spawn, and, you can't just, the easy thing to do would be to just sit outside their spawn and pick them off as, like, they go to play the objectives. But a lot of time, like, randoms, they don't go to play the objective. They think, like, I'm just going to get this 1 kill, have my 1 KD, and I am good. But, I mean, obviously, most people don't actually think that, who have much experience with the game. But random kids, they do. And so you run into that situation a lot where, like, if you have them, I guess, quote unquote, spawn trapped, what happens is they just sit in their spawn. And so you go into their spawn to try and find them and kill them, and they're sitting prone in some random ass fucking place, and you end up getting dicked on. And it's really frustrating. Whereas in competitive, you don't have that. You kind of know where these players are going to be. You know what head glitches they're probably going to pick out. You know what gunfights are going to challenge and what they're not. And so even though you're playing better players, they're much more predictable for the most part. Now, granted, obviously there are some public players or some pro players who can still slay against the best, i.e. Scumpy. The kid's like a fucking monster, but even still, it's just way different. I don't really know. I hope that kind of made sense. I know it was kind of a, I don't know. It's kind of weird commentary today, guys, but I hope you kind of got the gist of it. For pub players, you can't really compare the two because of all the random bullshit and random shit that noobs do. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like. If you hated it, then dislike it, and I'll see y'all next video. Bye.